In today's video, we are going to do some crafting. Now you will probably remember seeing these little guys in my October thrift haul, and I'm going to put them in my little village, but they need a home. And I had this box. I had gotten it from when I used to work at that kitchen store. They were just going to throw it away, so I snatched it, and I had decoupaged this wood grain paper on the sides, and I was using this for storage in my bathroom. Well, I don't need it for that purpose anymore. I'm not going to use the lid in this craft, but I am going to keep the lid because it's really pretty, and I'll find another use for it at some point. But I am going to use the box, and this is going to be perfect for their home. Now, the issue, it's not really an issue. I really like the wood on the side, but when I did this decoupage, I didn't have quite enough to cover the whole thing. So I left this strip where the lid came down and covered it. So I'm going to have to figure something else out to cover up that purple. And then I think the back, I'm just going to paint brown. And then I'm going to create a little home inside the box for these two little guys. They fit in there perfectly. So I'm just going to use everything. I went down in my craft room and I just grabbed a bunch of stuff from my stash that I'm going to use in this project today, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. I love doing this kind of stuff. It helps me to relax, and I don't think about anything else that's going on in the world. I just spend time creating. So let's craft together, let's create together. First thing I'm going to do is paint the back brown so that it matches, and I'll probably paint this purple strip brown too, just in case what I put on there does not cover completely. You won't be able to see any of the purple underneath of it. Sorry about the dogs barking. I'm going to use this Waverly chalk paint in Truffle. Haven't used it in a really long time. I thought it might be dried up, but it's not. So I'm just going to give it a good stir, and we'll get this thing painted. So that's all painted. It's only going to take one coat, it looks like. I wish I would have had a bigger paintbrush, but Olivia's outside busy and I didn't want to go in her room, and I'm not sure where her paintbrushes are kept. So anyway, I've got this little heat tool, heat gun. Got it for Christmas, and this is the first chance I've had to actually use it. Well, that's pretty awesome how quick that works. You can kind of see the brush strokes, but that's okay. You're not going to see the back anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and paint the rim around here, and then when I get that all done, I'll bring you back. Before I finish doing the outside of the box, the paint's dry. I use my little heat gun again. I'm going to do the inside. For the floor, the carpet of their little house, I'm going to use some of this faux grass that I've had in my stash. And then this scrapbook paper I'm going to use for their wallpaper. I'm just going to hot glue the faux grass inside, but I'm going to use some Mod Podge to adhere their wallpaper. here it is with their carpet and wallpaper. And for this, the ceiling, I'm going to use these little popsicle sticks, and I'm going to cut them out down to size, and I'm going to give them a little, like a stain, but it's just with diluted paint. And then I'm going to glue them on to the ceiling. So they'll have like a wood log cabin type ceiling in their house. I went ahead and glued that on off camera. I took a little break and had some lunch, and while I was eating, the little stain dried. So now we've got the carpet and the wallpaper and the ceiling, and I'm going to make a second floor on here just for kind of like their little bedroom and their little storage. You know how mice like to store things away. So I'm trying to think how is the best way to do that, and I think what I'm going to do is get a piece of cardboard and start with that as a structure, structurally, and then we'll just go from there. Going to put this little loft in, and I made those stick out longer on purpose. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I mean, if I was like my husband, I would get a level and a ruler, and I'd just make sure it's exactly even, but I like to eyeball things. So I'm going to go ahead and put on some glue, hot glue, along the edge here, both sides. And get it in there. Make sure it looks level. Ouch, that's hot. Don't burn your fingers. I'm going to hold it till the glue dries, and then I'm going to do some more reinforcing. My eyeballing skills aren't too bad. That looks pretty level and even. Might be a little bit down lower in the front, but that's okay. And I just put a ton of hot glue, and I just braced it with some of these twigs that I found in my yard. And the reason I'm not putting a twig over in this corner is because I'm going to try to make them some sort of a little fireplace of some sort. That's what I'm going to work on next. These stickers in my stash, and one of the stickers looks like a clock, so I'm going to use that. And then I had this little it was in my paper crafts from scrapbooking, little frame thing, that I'm going to make a little picture for them. And what I'm going to use is one of these pictures. This was a calendar that my friend Carolyn sent me. Snuggle Pot Cuddle Pie is a book that is popular in Australia. She sent me this calendar, and it's got all the little pictures in miniature on the back. So I'm not sure which one I'm going to choose yet, but I'm going to cut out one of these pictures and use that as their little picture for their wall art for their house. So now I need to make them a little ladder so that they can get up to their loft. I'm going to make that out of twigs. I made the ladder off camera, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I just took some twigs, glued them together, and I actually glued it to this. I cut this off because it just didn't look right, and I'm going to glue some small pine cones to camouflage that. And then I made a little pile of logs to go in the fireplace, and I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue that on the little fireplace pad. Finished off the edges so you couldn't see the cardboard with twigs, and now I'm going to use these little bitty pine cones to cover up that spot that I had to paint brown. And on the roof I am going to use some reindeer moss, wherever it's at, here it is, and I'm going to put some moss on the roof. Up in their attic is where they are going to keep their food stores. So I went out in my yard, and we have a beautiful oak tree out in our front yard, and I picked up some really cute acorns. I'm going to put some Mod Podge on these to shine them up a little bit and to preserve them. Then these are not real. These are just some fake little fruits. Then I got some more of these little baby pine cones. I got some wheat. I use these in my decor. I'm going to use a few of those to put up in there. And then I've got this wooden apple and these wooden mushrooms, and I'm going to paint them. Paint the apple red and the mushrooms probably like the classic with the red top and the white dots. I don't know if those are like technically toadstools, I don't know. But I'm going to paint them the classic, what we think of when we think of a mushroom. And then I'm going to hot glue them all up in their attic. I asked Olivia, who is the art expert in the house, how she would paint these toadstools or these mushrooms. I told her I wanted one to be like the classic red, and she said that one should have a white stem. So I think this is going to be the classic red one. I'll leave the under part of the cap brown, but I'm going to paint the stem white. And then this one, I'm going to mix the brown with white and do like a beigey color for the cap and maybe some brown spots. Not sure about that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and repaint this one white. I'm now going to make their bed. I found this old medicine box and I'm just gonna cut it down, and I decided to cut it down 3 popsicles high. So to make that easier, I'm just gonna go ahead and glue the popsicles onto the sides of the box first, because then I'll have to cut popsicles to cover the back, and I'm not gonna cover the bottom because it's gonna go in, you won't see the bottom. So let me go ahead and get the rest of these popsicles. I'm just hot gluing them on. And they're really easy to cut. So, I mean, shouldn't say they're really easy to cut, but they're not terrible to cut. So that's just to make this have some structural soundness and to give me a guide to cut the box off. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna cut the box off, and I'm gonna glue the front flap closed after I cut it, and then put the popsicle sticks on the ends, and then we'll see from there what I decide to do. So I have the bed done, well, it's not done, but the popsicle sticks on. And after I got the 3 on, I put it in its space, and I decided it was too tall. So I went and I had to cut the top row off. I should have went with my first instinct was to say it only needed to be 2 high, and I decided to leave this back one for 2 reasons. First, I couldn't get it off, and second, it's going to be like the footboard on the bed. So I will put a popsicle stick on here to cover that up, and then I've got some of these little pip berries, and I'm going to use those to just kind of decorate this edges and the sides where you can still see the box. Probably do that off camera and just show you when I'm done, because this video is going to be really long as it is. So here is their bed, and I decided that would be their headboard. It made more sense for it to be a headboard than a footboard. I don't know what I was thinking. So I went ahead and put 2 popsicles high, or four popsicles high on this end, so that could be their headboard. Now I've just got some fiberfill in there. That's going to be like their little mattress. And I have some of this burlap. I'm going to cut it down and kind of stuff it in, and that's going to be their blanket, and it's going to have pearl edging up at the top. So here it is all done. I decided to put one of these foam mushrooms on the roof as a chimney. Thought that was a cute little touch. And this little mushroom I couldn't fit up in their little storehouse, so I just glued it down here at the bottom. As you can see, their little bed fits in there just perfect. You kind of have to get down and get close to see the headboard, but I thought that was really cute. And there's all their stores for the winter. You can see how I Mod Podged those acorns, and now they're nice and shiny. I added a little leaf to the apple. I thought it just needed that little touch of green. That's just a piece of silk leaf that I just cut out into the shape of an apple leaf. And then down here I put on the flash so you can see better the inside. And down here you can see they're in their home, and back in the corner that's just a little table that I had already in my stash that I use with my fairy village, or my gnome village, and their fireplace with their wood sticks and their clock. And then on this wall is their piece of art. I think it turned out so cute. I had so much fun putting this together. Let me put it in place and then I will show you what it looks like. And we will finish this video. Here it is in place. You will probably have seen this already in my home tour because I'm not sure which one of these videos is going to come out first. I think the home tour is going to come out first. But anyway, there it is. It's really, really cute. Makes a really fun addition. And here it is with the flash on. I think you can see better with the flash on. I had a fun day. I hope you had a fun time watching me put this together. It did take me pretty much the whole day, whole afternoon anyway. So I will get this condensed down into as short of a video as I can. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye, friends.